Hello, this is Everard Junction, and this is a layout update for coming up to the end of September now. There's not too many days left. So basically it's just a quick sort of look around and work I've been doing over the last few weeks. I've done a little bit of work. I haven't accomplished quite as much as I'd like. Going through quite a few changes at the moment, moving into a new job. Also getting a new car, so I've been focusing on other things at the moment, but I have managed to get a fair bit of work done on the layout, something that's actually enough to show you guys. So we'll start off with the TMD area. Most of you will probably remember this from the last video. It was looking quite bare and barren. There wasn't any paint or anything, and it was looking a little bit messy, but I've cleaned a lot of it up now, so we'll have a closer look at that. And there's a few other things as well around the layout that I have managed to get done. Okay, so one of the first things that I did shortly after finishing the video where I made the concrete was I redid the ballast around the edge and cleaned it all up. Did the same on the facing edges, so that just covers up any polyfiller that is really low lying but noticeable, and it also tidied up any scenery that got messed up. Obviously you do the concrete before you do the scenery. I was in the strange situation where I'd done the concrete already, but I wasn't happy with it, and I redid it, so some of the scenery got a bit broken, a bit messed up doing that, but I've done a fairly good job of covering it up, and you can't really see any of the mess anymore. So if we move down, you can see I've filled it all in over here as well. This area was looking particularly tatty. It's a lot better now. Again, did the same along the edges into the shed, and the path is nicely sort of leveled off at the edges. Put a little bit of grass over there, a little bit of clump foliage. It's not quite finished yet. There'll be a bit more to do to that. I've also moved the fueling points, weathered those up a little bit more as well, glued those down, as well as doing any painting. So I painted all of the concrete, if you like, and I painted the yellow lines as well. There's something quite nice to do with the yellow lines. It sort of adds a little bit of difference, makes it a bit brighter to look at. Just quickly, as you probably noticed, there's quite a few trains running on the layout at the moment. This is the first decent running session I've had for a very long time, and I'm pleased to report that everything just works. I haven't had any issues at all, but of course I needed to clean the track a little bit. So stuff that's running at the moment is the 56, which hasn't been out in a long time, but is performing perfectly as ever. It's one of my oldest locos, one of my favourites, and it just always works. Very, very good loco. Nothing else at the moment, so I've got 6 trains running and they all disappear and I want to show you them. There we go, something else. There's the 60 over there, pulling the tanker train. There's a 47 just disappearing underneath the layout over there. Close behind it is the HST on the same line. Anything else? Oh yeah, we've got a couple of Class 20s pulling like a summer relief train. Something you saw quite common around Skegness, but I always like 20s on passenger duties. It looks quite cool. So that's following the 56. We've got the 60 obviously going around there, and somewhere, there we go, up there, we've got the Class 31 pulling a local passenger service, which is following the 60. So there's in total there's 6 trains running, so hopefully they'll all stay on the track while I'm filming this. Okay, so just quickly back to the concrete. This has all been fully cleaned now. It's all fully functional. It all works. You can see trains pretty good. And they run nice and smoothly. It's almost like the concrete isn't there. It's come out really well. Just move that back over there. I'll put some buffers in at the end as well. They're not glued down. Just sort of roughly put them in place just to see how they look. I'll do the same thing that I did a long time ago, which is put some red lights in them, makes them look a bit more interesting. I've also done a little bit more weathering. I've weathered the first of the Shell tanker wagons. This was done all entirely using my airbrush and a mixture of rail match paint. I've tried to represent the prototype pictures as closely as I can. Obviously I want to retain the attractive livery, but I also want to make them look used and abused. So if we zoom in, you can see I've gone for a streaking sort of oil. It looks pretty good. We've got the bogey dust and the oil around the bogies. You can see just by the springs there's oil, and then the rest of the bogey is sort of a track dirt colour. The bottom of the wagon has been weathered, the top of the wagon has been where the walkway is, and then we've got the spills down the side. The streaks were created by cutting a slit in a piece of paper and then just spraying the airbrush through the slit very lightly and very quickly, and it just gives you a brief sort of streak, and then I blended that in with subtle tones from other paints. It's come out very well. So all of the Shell tanker wagons will eventually look like this, and it really looks a lot better than the pristine, shiny, sort of unrealistic look you get when you open them out of the box. Something else I've also done is I have weathered the Class 60. These were brand new in the era the layout is set in. I managed to find a picture of this particular loco pulling a passenger train in 1991, and I've tried my best to replicate the sort of weathering that loco had when it would have only been a few months old. So we get a closer look at it as it comes out here. I've basically just done the bottom and the roof. It's very supple, but it adds a whole lot of realism to the loco. As it comes around, you can compare the roof of this rather grimy 56 compared to the lightly weathered roof of the brand new 60 that would have only been in service a few months. I'm very pleased with how that's come out. I find the most difficult weathering is the light, subtle weathering, because it's very easy to overdo it. So now we move over to this side of the layout with the engine shed. First of all, I've added signs to it. You've got your usual stop, obtain permission before entering the shed signs. There's the limited clearance signs. The door, obviously, which I'll come on to in a minute. I've got a little depot sign up there as well. I've also just touched it up a little bit, just cleaned it up a little. It's been on the layout a while now. I have still got the lights that I fitted to it a long time ago. I'm going to be putting those lights back in it at a later date. They'll still be in there. I'll also put some lights in the little office building that I've made next to it. This is like a little place for workers to sit in the depot, a place to sign in the morning, a place to sort of converse with colleagues and sort of like get work and work out what needs to be done for the day. So I thought it would be nice to put a little building just next to it. It also does a nice job of hiding the mechanism that operates the depot door. So this is the opening door. I'll put a link in the description on how to make it. There's a video made by another railway modeller, and his video is really good. Just shows you the basic construction of the door, and I'll stick that in the description. So if you want to know how to make one, just have a look in the description, and you can find that. So I'll just quickly show you it working, if I can make it go the right way. There we go. Stop. So there you go, there's the door closed, and then reverse the motor, and that'll bring the door up. I've tried to make it as smooth as possible. It's come out pretty good. So to actually make the door work, what I've done is I've used pretty close relation to the model railway. Actually, it was made by the same man. I've used some Meccano, and you can see just underneath the layout there is a little 3-volt motor which goes into a little reduction gearbox I've made, which gets the axle spinning to a speed that's nice and slow and gives the door a nice smooth opening action. You can see at the pulley at the end, you can just about see there's a belt drive. So that belt drive goes through a hole in the baseboard, connects to a pulley hiding underneath the building. So there's a pulley here. A metal rod runs through the shed, and around it the revolving door wraps around. So you can see there's the door unrolling itself. So in the centre of that is just a Meccano axle, or metal tube of some sort. And then when the door is down, it just stops. And then you turn the motor to the other way, and it will bring the door back in for you. That's all controlled down here. This is just a small battery pack for the 3-volt motor, and there's just a little forwards and backwards switch on there. So the door is manually operated. So if we have a quick look, you can see there's the mechanism working. So you can see the reduction gearbox at work, making a nice smooth turn for the door. and of course it works the other way as well. I've given the gears a nice coating of grease just to make sure it all runs smoothly. After all, the unit is sort of mounted upside down, and this gets pretty cold up here in the winter and stuff, so just to make sure it lasts, I'll put a bit of grease on it. Okay, so moving around from there, you can see I've tidied up the scenery in this corner, laid down some grass, some loose ballast and a couple of sleepers. That area will get developed a little bit more, made to look a little bit better, but it'll do for now. I've also re-weathered the track in any places where it had worn away or I'd accidentally got polyfiller on it or whatever. So that's all done. It's all been weathered up there, and you can see I've made areas that are darker than others to represent where locos have been stood and oil has been spilt. So moving along from there, nothing has really changed. It's all as it was, but I have done a little bit of work over here. So you can see there's now a car parking area for staff that attend the loco storage area. I will be putting a building, an office building of some sort, just a small little office for the workers. There also needs to be a load more scenery put along this bit. This is just the base stuff, but I thought I'd get something down, get a covering down. Of course, there's the road which works its way along and comes into there, so that joins up to the road that originally goes off to the little classic car place, and the signal box is over there. Still haven't got round to putting anything in the allotments yet, but I will be getting around to it at some stage. I just need to get the time to do it. But as you can see, the guys over there are still attempting to get the Cortina out of the mud. That's been stuck there a couple of months now, but I'm sure they'll get it out eventually. And of course then going up to here, this is all as it was, hasn't changed. I'm very pleased with this area, but it will get a few bits and pieces added to it, I'm sure. So that's what I've been doing recently. So I'll do another update when there's more work to show for it. But for now, hope you enjoyed it. I'll do a quick couple of shots of some locos running around the layout, just so you can pick out some of the finer detail I haven't been able to get to on this video.